What's going on, Chico?
We said we were coming back. And those of you who are joining me, this is an opportunity for you to be able to succeed to the next level. I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. We're not in the times of being lethargic, of being of contemplating if we want to do it, if we're going to do it. No, we just going to do it. Because how else do we expect to be great when we choose to be lethargic in situations, when we choose to be lukewarm in situations, when we understand what true poverty really is, and once you experience it, your knack is just at a whole nother level. Your hunger is at a whole nother level. Your drive is at a whole nother level. Your consistency is at a whole nother level. But that only gonna comes when you choose to be willing to put in the work. Because just like the great Adrian Broner say, man, I can't want nothing for you that you don't want for yourself. I can't want you to be able to be at a new level when you choose not to be there yourself. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle at. You want things for them that they don't want for themselves. And that right there is a scary thing. That's a scary thing. So, let's get started, man. Let's get started. Today, this show today is going to be for those who, like I said, they ready to go to the next level, man. And I honestly think that this comes with more of your drive and your consistency. What it is of what you're looking for, what it is of what you actually want, how you want to get there, what are the steps in order to be able to get there that you have to apply. How's your discipline? Are you disciplined? Or are you just careless? It remains to be seen. But we're going to do some physicals on your finances today. Your finances are going to go through a physical on today. And you should want to do this for yourself, only because it's going to help better you to take you to the next level. We have a short video that we're going to be watching today. It's probably, it's very educational. And it comes from, I shared a lot of his tools and a lot of things it is that I have learned from him. But it comes from Mr. Robert Kiyosaki himself. This here is the cash flow quadrant. And this here is his number one, Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? So we're going to be paying attention and we're going to be looking into that. And so outside of that, then we're going to start diving deep into our financial space. And what I mean by our financial space, we're gonna start taking a look at things to be able to help us create barriers to be able to save the $1,000 of what we'll need to be able to do things like if you don't have $1,000 saved, you're like one flat tire away from life changing. And the reason why I say that for things changing in your life, reason why I say that, I got a short story to tell you. So this is when I knew then that being able to make a pivot, right, when it came to business, and a lot of people know me from a multitude of different businesses that I have been a part of and that I have started, right? So one of those businesses was trucking, right? I did trucking company where I owned the actual truck itself. And so what I started to notice was, man, as a company, what are we doing? How do we see ourselves as being profitable? And I can go into so many different variables as to how we were able to get there to be able to find out if we were profitable or not. I had a great business partner who was able to create a calculator, right? They created this calculator, and with this calculator, we was able to put in the numbers based upon miles, based upon miles driven, deadhead miles, everything. We was able to key it all, like money we received from a job. Was this job going to be profitable, and will it be profitable enough down to our employee pay and everything? Right, was implemented within that calculator, and that right there helped us to see if we were profitable. And so as we're taking jobs and we're booking these jobs, we're starting to see like, hey, this job is not good to take because this job ain't gonna be worth it. This job right here ain't good to take because this job definitely not gonna be worth it. And we started seeing that like, man, everything of what's happening and what is going on isn't geared around us as a company. It's more geared around the fact that this industry is not what we think it is. Jeremy, what do you mean this industry is not what we think it is? What I mean by that is this: the industry was no longer profitable once you start looking at rates, right? But you have some people who just hang in there on things because they just consistently needing to do what? Pay a bill. But the company is not profitable. The company is actually running under. And when I say this term, you're one flat tire away from putting yourself in one of the worst situations possible. You are absolutely one flat tire away from putting yourself in one of the worst absolute positions possible being a part of this company. Is no lie. So what we had to do was make a pivot. And that pivot came from us being able to understand that, hey, guess what? We have to go non-asset. We had to become non-asset brokers in order to be able to secure profits within that time frame. And this is what I want you to be able to do with your finances is learn how to pivot when it's time to pivot. Yeah. Learn how to pivot when it's time to pivot. Because when you're consistently losing cash, it sucks. When you have outgoing more than you have incoming, boy, that's a tough place to be in. That is a tough place to be in that a lot of people don't speak on. So you spending money that you necessarily don't have, and when it's time for you to have money, you can't show up with nothing at all, period, because you spent it before you even got it. In most cases. And then when you do get it, you overly spend that when you shouldn't have been spending nothing at all, period. It's real. This is a real thing. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this video. This is a motivational video for you more than anything, right? And within this video, it's going to give very good clarity, very good understanding as to what we need to be paying attention to. Okay? So let's get ready to dive in and see what's good in this video. Let's start.
The rich play by a different set of rules, and once you learn them, money will never be a problem again. Robert Kiyosaki has identified 5 key principles that separate the rich from the poor. In this video, we'll break them down so you can apply them to your own life and start building real wealth. And at the very end, I'll share one powerful habit that every self-made millionaire swears by. Robert Kiyosaki divides financial intelligence into 5 cornerstones. The businessman claims that if each of them is developed proportionally, monetary success will not keep you waiting. The first part of financial intelligence is learning how to make more money. It seems logical, we go to work to get money, but unfortunately that is not the point. First of all, you should not work to make money, but to learn how to make much more money. Let me give you an example. Kiyosaki's first job was deliberately chosen with a lower salary so that Robert could learn how to sell. Thanks to this experience, he was later able to open his own company. No book or seminar can replace real experience in the field. In practice, a person learns much faster and more effectively. Choose the job that will give you more knowledge and experience for further realization, not just a good salary at the end of the month. In addition, Kiyosaki points out the importance of hardships. To learn how to make more money, Robert strongly recommends not giving up when you encounter challenges along the way, because they are what allow you to learn how to solve problems and increase your financial intelligence. Fixed one problem? Move on to the next one. By solving more difficult problems, you gain valuable experience that allows you to increase your financial knowledge. Also, solve other people's money problems. No, this is not about lending money to your neighbor. If you have the opportunity, help a person solve financial difficulties with advice, analysis of their current situation, and so on. Kiyosaki is sure that this is one of the main secrets to increasing income. This advice is supported by the fact that the more serious problems a company solves, the more successful it becomes. The same is true for an individual. The more experience you gain by solving various problems, even not your own, the better you will be trained in how to make more money. The second part of financial intelligence is knowing how to protect your finances. Kiyosaki says that the world is full of predators who want to take your money. A person must learn how to give these predators as little money as possible. Set a goal to pay less wherever possible. Kiyosaki gives some great examples. For instance, we are swindled by banks. Promising 10% annual interest on your savings, they give your money away as a loan at 20 or even 30%. Kiyosaki also includes brokers and financial advisors as predators. These people often have no real experience in finance, don't realize that the rules of money have changed, and give outdated and risky advice at high prices. And there are dozens of other examples. The main thing to do about it? First, don't believe anyone. Unfortunately, our world is built in such a way that most people just want to profit from our problems. Protect your money and use only experienced lawyers, accountants, and tax specialists. And perhaps most importantly, learn to manage your finances yourself. Stop trusting fake experts to manage your money and learn all the financial issues yourself. Take your time, learn at your own pace, but then you will be sure that no one is going to cheat you. Financial IQ Part 3 is about knowing how to manage your money. Now that you have protected your money and succeeded in earning much more than before, you need to learn how to create a budget surplus. In simple words, the excess of income over expenses. First of all, you need to understand the most important truth. It is impossible to have a surplus if you spend a lot of money. Robert says that no matter how much a person earns, it is important to first learn how to pay yourself and make asset acquisition a priority. Savings and investments are the most important, but this can also include courses, sports subscriptions, and charity. Kiyosaki believes that a person should enjoy life and even when things are difficult, continue to maintain a certain level of it, spend on assets, and use the first element of financial intelligence to make even more money. Imagine that you have given up all benefits for the sake of wealth. Your morale, motivation, and any desire to achieve new things will be at zero. It's important to maintain a fighting spirit, which is the essence of Kiyosaki's advice to maintain a certain standard of living. but it should be in moderation. In addition, Robert recommends writing down your expenses. The author compares this information to a crystal ball. It is very easy to predict a person's financial future just by looking at their expenses. A person who spends the most on assets, investments, savings, etc. will inevitably get richer. On the other hand, a person who spends the most on consumer goods and other material goods will end up with nothing. Control your expenses, analyze their status, and make adjustments when you realize that you have taken a wrong turn. In addition, Robert Kiyosaki suggests that you remember another truth forever. Your assets should pay for your liabilities. As I mentioned earlier, the businessman believes that everyone should enjoy their life. But here, it is important to determine who will pay for it. For example, you have decided to buy a nice car for yourself. Calculate its cost and add the monthly maintenance. Now, the most important thing is that before you buy a car, you must make it an asset of yours to pay for it. That is, you need to find something that will generate enough money to cover your car expenses. For example, a rental property can do this. The key idea is that you don't just spend money to buy goods that satisfy you. You first create a new source of income. Use all your previously learned knowledge of the first and second parts of financial intelligence, and eventually come out on the plus side and acquire the desired material goods. And if you're facing financial difficulties, then it's time to spend even more money. Surprising advice, isn't it? Here's how Robert Kiyosaki explains it. Usually, when a business is in financial trouble, they desperately start cutting back on spending, when in fact, they need to increase their marketing and advertising spending to revive sales. The same is true for a person. If you are in financial trouble, you should increase your spending on assets, those things that generate income or perhaps take on what is known as good debt. This term refers to borrowing money to buy assets. Kiyosaki always pointed out the positive aspects of good debt, and along with analyzing and recording your expenses, the ability to acquire assets, even to pay for liabilities, will 100% develop the third element of financial intelligence. The fourth part of financial IQ is about what everyone needs to do to make money. It will be about investing. Robert Kiyosaki says that investing plays a key role in the strategy for achieving financial independence. He cautions against limiting yourself to traditional investments such as savings accounts or bonds, and instead suggests looking at other types of investments, real estate for example. Kiyosaki places great emphasis on investing in this area. He believes that investing in real estate can provide a steady passive income in the form of rent payments and appreciation of square footage over time. The next option is securities. Various financial instruments such as stocks can help build a portfolio that generates income and grows over time. One other type is business investments. Kiyosaki supports the idea of starting your own business or investing in business ventures. He believes that entrepreneurship can be one of the most powerful ways to create wealth. Robert emphasizes that investing requires learning and recommends that readers deepen their knowledge of financial markets and investment strategies. By understanding this area in more detail, you will be able to boost the fourth element of financial intelligence. You're almost there. Remember, each fragment is incredibly important and cannot exist without the other. In the end, you will be waiting for an additional secret key to wealth that is used by all billionaires. But for now, let us move on to the fifth piece of financial intelligence. It should consist of knowing how to properly manage the information available to you. Kiyosaki remembers his younger years in Vietnam. When he was in the army, part of his job was to collect and process top-secret information. It was then that Robert realized its importance, and he realized even more the importance of knowing how to handle it. If you analyze information correctly and understand its essence, it will be your greatest asset, says Kiyosaki. We are living in the age of information. Information equals wealth. The main advantage of the modern age is that information is now valuable, accessible, free, and there is more than enough of it. The main flaw, however, is that information is valuable, accessible, free, and there is more than enough of it. In other words, too much information kills information. And to know how to use it properly, you must develop your fifth element of financial intelligence. To deal with information overload, you must first learn how to categorize data. Ask yourself questions as, is the information relevant? Is it reliable? What is the source of the information you are receiving? Is it valuable? Can the information be compared with other information? This allows us to see trends. Is it fact or opinion? A fact is something that can be verified, while an opinion is just an idea that is not guaranteed to be useful. Kiyosaki recommends making decisions based on hard facts. Following the advice of a financial professional and investing your money in a diversified portfolio of mutual funds is a typical example of a poor financial decision based solely on opinion. With the ability to analyze information, you can identify cycles and trends and anticipate market ups and downs. You need to become financially holistic, says Robert Kiyosaki. What he means by that is that once you improve your first and second elements of financial intelligence, do not forget about the other three. To solve the how to get rich problem, it is important to improve all 5 skills we have talked about today in parallel, gradually, and holistically. And here perhaps is one more important thing that any financial intelligence cannot do without: courage. Entrepreneurs, investors, and just about all rich people are the ones who have the courage to take action. Leave your prejudices behind, stop thinking about what others will think, identify your strengths and weaknesses, ask for help, get feedback, and keep your focus on the main goal of becoming a rich, successful, and free person. Managing your finances should become your passion. You should be genuinely interested in it. Share in the comments how much money you would like to make each month. Let's set a specific money goal. Start following Robert Kiyosaki's advice, and in 6 months, we'll come back to your comments and compare if we got what we wanted.
So, how did you all like this video? How did you like this video? I thought this video was so educational with the steps of what one needed. It was almost as if it was motivation. It was almost as if it was motivation. So when you have something of that magnitude that motivates you from the start, it makes you want to understand, okay, what I have to do next. What's next? Right? Like what is step 1 for me? And so what I took the liberty to do is create this in different phases. Because when I create it in different phases, it makes it a lot easier for people to comprehend. So here we go. Let's do this. So we had to take a look and just check the audio on YouTube real quick. But let's do this. Let's start with phase 1. Let's start here with phase 1. Phase 1 is where a lot of people struggle here. They're going to struggle here at phase 1. I'm going to share this with you so that you will be able to see it, right? So we're here in phase 1. And we'll zoom in so that you all could be able to take a screenshot of this. I want you to be able to screenshot this. And if you actually want phase 1, um, then obviously send us an email so that we could be able to give you phase 1. All right. So in phase 1, it says mindset and friction, stopping the bleeding. We have to stop the bleeding. So you say, well, what is the bleeding, Jeremy? Like, what is actually the problem here? The problem here is when you do a physical on your finances, you want to be able to see how to disarm the instant gratification triggers. You want to implement the 48-hour rule for any non essential purchase over $50. Force a mandatory 48-hour cooling period. If the urge to buy is still there after 2 days, evaluate it then. Most impulse desires fade within 24 hours. That means if you see something on social media that's been marketed to you, right? When stuff be marketed to you and they have cookies, you have to understand how digital marketing works. Once you have an idea and an understanding as to how digital marketing works, then it just sets you up for being able to see how they play on your emotions. Oh man, it's a real thing. It's a real thing on how they play on our emotions because they create cookies, right? Say for instance, if you're talking about something, you ever notice this? You're talking about something with either your spouse or a friend, and as you're done talking about it, what happens? You see it show up on either your social media. If you're scrolling through your phone, you see an ad that's geared towards it, right? Knowing this, and you can share with me in the comment section if this has ever happened to you before. I really would like to know if this ever happened to you before. But knowing that this is a thing that is like really happening, and they are marketing themselves to you. Robert Kiyosaki talks about it, and he called them what? Straight up predators. He said there's predators who are trying to seek your income. They're trying to take your money. And when they try to take your money and they put themselves in a position to market to you, they're weighing on your emotions as a person who always is willing to buy. The second thing that it talks about within this is delink your payment methods. That means remove saved credit card information from Amazon, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and your favorite online storefronts. Forcing yourself to physically find your wallet and type in 16 digits creates operational friction, giving your logical brain time to override and impulse buy. All it's doing is cutting in on your buying time. You no longer have a desire to buy when you know you got to put in all your credit card information and everything that pertains to your credit card information. It kills it. Here's the other one: unsubscribe from retail marketing. Go ahead and hit unsubscribe on every promotional email from brands trying to sell you something. That's what we talked about, right? And if you don't know a sale is happening, you won't experience FOMO. What is FOMO? Fear of missing out. We apply this to our trading, and we talk about this within our trading aspect all the time. We don't want to catch FOMO here. We're not missing out on any trades, okay? The second one, we want to audit the subconscious drain. There's a book that I want to share with you all. Give me 1 second. I want to share this book with you all. Because when I share this book with you, this book is going to open up your eyes to be able to utilize that one thing that we have that is the most powerful thing in the world, right? That a lot of people wish they had. It's the most powerful thing in the world. Give me 1 second. So this book that I have is, and we're talking about the subconscious mind. How many of you ever read this book here, Master Your Brain? Master Your Brain. Training Your Mind for Success in Life. How many of you ever read this book? It's by Philip Adcock. This book masters the subconscious when it comes to language, emotions, success, relationships, memory, fear, personalities, and communication. This book right here is something that is very good with helping you weigh in on subconscious thinking. How you can dive deeper in subconscious thinking. I'm serious. Look, so the subscription scrape, you're going to run a hard audit on your bank statements from the last 90 days. How many of you ever pulled your bank statements before? And you say, man, I just want to look at what it is that I'm actually spending money on. So, one thing, if you are single and you are married and you're listening to this, one way that you can do this is sit down with your partner, sit down with your loved one, your companion, and you say, hey, especially if they're in a situation of struggle, and you say, hey, let's do an audit, right? If we do an audit, we're going to be able to find those things that we need in order to be able to grab out the things that we want, right? So when we run a hard audit on bank statements from the last 90 days, we're going to cancel any app streaming service, software, or gym memberships you haven't used in the last 30 days. Meaning that if you ain't used it in 30 days, there's no reason for you to keep it. There's no reason. Then we're going to track every single cent. For the next 30 days, log every transaction manually in a basic spreadsheet or notebook. Seeing the physical total of small $5 to $10 purchases, compounding daily acts as a psychological pattern interrupter. That means that, and we talked about this when it comes to savings, if you're not able to consistently save money, whether it's starting at $5, $10, you can start building compound. You can start compounding on those $5, on those $10, with consistency and discipline. The same way that you spend $5, $10 on certain things consistently, and it acts as a pattern interrupter. All it's doing is building compound. Is just compounding against you to not ever get what you want. It's compounding against you to not allow you to get what you want. And so that is phase one. We're going to hop into phase two because we want to be able to put all this together to be able to gain clarity and understanding on how we're going to be able to get to the next level. How are we going to be able to effectively save $1,000? And think about the amount of money it is that you will be saving now with just implementing phase one. We're going to disarm instant gratification triggers, right? We're going to implement the 48-hour rule on anything that we spend that's over a $50 purchase. We're going to delink payment methods, right? Stuff that we love, like if you're a person who spent, got a credit card that's attached to Amazon, Apple Pay, Google Pay, any of your favorite online stores, you're forcing yourself to physically find your wallet, your credit card information, and making yourself manually have to put in the 16 digits of your credit card information and all the information it is that's needed in order to be able to make the sale. Your brain over time logically is going to override the impulse to buy when it comes to that. Delete your payment methods. And the last thing, unsubscribe from retail marketing. I talked about this earlier. When these companies can market to you and they're using their cookies of places of what you visited on Google, anything going from a TikTok ad to Instagram, whatever, they're going to target you. And they're going to keep that thing within your face. And it weighs on your subconscious. And it makes it feel as though you have FOMO, fear of missing out on not having this or having that. I don't know how many times I've looked at something on TikTok, then typed it in, and I looked at it, and then as I'm scrolling, right, done backed out of it and everything, close down the app, open up the app, that's the first thing that pops up on the app. If not, it's the second to third scroll. And I'm like, man, they are very good at weighing in on subconscious thinking. So I appreciate you all, right, for being a part of this. This is just phase one, right? We're going to stop losing cash now, and we finna fix this money fast so that we can be able to quickly save $1,000. That's the goal. We're going to get there. No matter what anybody says, you're going to do the work that's necessary to be able to get there. All right. So I appreciate you all. I appreciate your time and effort. Thank you for tuning in to phase one. Please leave in the comment section how you felt about this video. If you think this video was something that helped you and you've done some of the things or implemented some of those things within phase one, please let me know within the comment section. So thank you for that. Please like and subscribe and have a wonderful day. This is your boy Jeremy. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.